just once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from the...
Oh no. Come on now. All right.
So catch me if I fall.
So yeah, I wanted to go over some baits from Handing. You may have seen them at iCast. They won Best in Show for their hard plastics. I got 3 packs. Let's call this 3/8 ounce multi swim baits. Those things look great. I know my buddy likes using these for pike. It's a muskie as well. I also got some larger jointed swim baits. These are more, what are these? These are 5/8. Pretty cool. And then I got some lipless. So I'm definitely gonna be trying out the lipless. I'm definitely gonna be trying out some of the swim baits. What I like about these and what you may have seen if you saw them or familiar with them or saw it iCast, the designs on these are crazy. This is a lipless that I'm gonna throw. I mean, I don't know, can you see like the design in that? Is pretty sweet. So I'm gonna try that out. Let's see here. So we'll try that out. And then also try out maybe one of these swim baits too. We'll see. But yeah, mustad hooks. Those look pretty nice. See things up shallow today. Maybe in the back here. See what we can get onto. So first cast with this lipless. This is a 1/2 ounce lipless. We'll see if anything's around that wants to eat this. There's I just go around the entire bank, see if there's anything that wants to eat. So I do remember this place being pretty weedy, so I think like a lipless will work pretty well. Also with the temperature dropping as it is, lipless is one of my go-to baits when it's this cold. But yeah, you can feel that go through the weeds there. I really like the designs on these things, man. Like the designs are really cool. I've never really seen anything like that from a design point of view. It's like a fish eating a fish. We're gonna see if there's anything up on these banks. We'll go into the other side of the big lake here in a little bit. But I mean, this lipless looks great coming through the water. This water looks a little low. Not terrible, but looks a little low. But we'll see what they want. Man, that water is cold too. 56 degrees. Cold water. It could be cold water, and it looks like the turnover has happened recently. Yeah, I'm gonna need a little bit of vibration, probably some flash to get their attention. I like a white. I like a lot of white baits, but I like a white shad lipless to be is usually my go-to. There's a lot of shad up here. There's a lot of shad everywhere. I mean, but shad is probably their main forage here in this little lake. Our bluegill here. It's a crappie too. I know it's a pretty good crappie lake. So you're not sure what they're gonna want to eat, but could be a little later in the afternoon when they get turned on, just because it's supposed to get up to 70s today. I usually like a lipless between like that 60 to 70 degree water. I find for me that works the best from a temperature point of view. Man, you can really bomb this thing. Hoping this place hasn't gotten too much pressure, but I am near Chicago, so wishful thinking. Maybe I'm going too fast. Maybe go a little slower. I don't want to go too slow because there was grass over there, but yeah, you're going to have to deal with the grass, dead grass when the fall turnover happens. But that's all right. Water is really dirty. It's really dirty, and the water here is typically pretty clear. Yeah, you can see all the black crap on the top of the water. So this is gonna be a little bit of an interesting day to go fishing. So it might be a little tough. There's one. Right off of that wood. There we go. Right off of that wood. It's a small guy, but I'll take it. Small guy on the lipless, number 1. Thanks, bud. Tiny guy, real tiny guy, but it came right off of this wood, so it makes me believe there might be more. Got a small one. There's one. There's another one. That's a bigger one. Feels bigger. Yeah, nice. They are right on this log. Thanks, bud. So, let's keep doing that. Ah, here's a bigger one. Here's a bigger one. There's a better one. I think. Yeah, there we go. Back on that. Ending. Ah. Thanks, bud. So lipless, eh? It's like a cheat code, in my opinion, on like cold water like this. A lipless is so good. It's got some pretty loud rattles in it too. I wanted to get caught on that. There's another one. I'm just picking them off right here at this, right on this laydown. So pattern is they're on laydowns. Right in as it goes into deep water because this gets into 11 feet. At least that's where all the small ones are at. Thanks, bud. I think they kind of just stacked up in here. Somewhere around in here. Right off the edge of this tree, I think. Ooh. Yeah, it was cold today. I woke up, it was like 45. I think it's only gonna get 70 today. Wind's gonna be not much of a factor. Looking at maybe like 10 mile an hour today. It's not terrible. Water temperature is cold. It is 60 degrees. Although the fish that I just picked up were quite warm. So they might. Oh, I just pulled it out of his mouth. Damn. I definitely got his hooks in him though, so he's not gonna eat that again. So that works, which is good. Let's try one of these swim baits out. I'm gonna try, so yeah, so what I've been throwing are these lipless, and one, so, you know, mustad hooks, you know, those are pretty stout, and I love the design. I love the color on these. You know, just that fish eating that fish, and the got a really loud rattle to it. But what I'm gonna try now is a swim bait. So caught a couple on lipless, and like I said, I think lipless is the key to go, is the way to go, especially in kind of the weather that we're having now. But let's try one of these bad boys out. This is a 3/8 ounce multi-jointed swimmer. I'm putting it on my jerkbait rod because the hooks are kind of small. I don't want to pull the hooks out. But the good news is with mustad hooks, you know, they're pretty stout. Those are pretty good hooks. It's also like, normally when I see these kind of baits, the line tie is like at the front, but this one's kind of on its head. So yeah, just see what that looks like. Hopefully they can get them on the fall feed. We'll find out though. Man, today would be a fantastic day for a chatterbait. But we're not. I'm not doing a chatterbait video today, and lipless kind of sounds a little fun today. Like, I feel like if I can't use a chatterbait, lipless will work just as well. I actually prefer lakes of this size. You know, it's not humongous, and it's not small either. I mean, it's a perfect kayak lake. Larger lakes are fun, but I feel like these, you have more fishy areas, right? Like, whereas like if it's a big lake, you might have, you know, stretches of dead water. These small lakes, you know, usually it's not like that. And that's why I typically like these smaller lakes. Fish might not be as big as you would in like larger, in like some of like the power plant lakes that we have around here. I just like fishing. I just like getting out from the city, being on the water, you know, kind of just being alone with your thoughts, not worry about anything else, and just concentrate on, you know, your cast, feeling for the bite, your retrieve. My dad was the one that actually, you know, I think with all of us, you know, unless for most of us, you know, started off with our fathers. I just remember catching, you know, bluegill, bullhead for bank lines and trot lines, and that was fun for me. I mean, as you're a, you know, 6, 7, 8, 9-year-old kid, you know, reeling in to what you think is giant bluegill, yeah, that's a lot of fun, and that's what, you know, for me, unlocked my passion for fishing. I would ask my dad all the time, "You want to go fishing? You want to go fishing?" every time I could, every time in the summer. You know, after he got home from work, you want to go fishing? You want to go fishing? Let's go fishing. Let's go fishing. He'd take me. You know, he worked a very blue-collar job. You know, was up early in the morning, didn't get home until, you know, 5 or 6 at night. Always dirty. You know, now that I'm his age at that time, you know, I'm starting to think like, man, taking a fucking brat going fishing is just gonna get, they ask me to rehook and take off his fish every 5 minutes. Doesn't sound that great. It sounded like a whole lot of fun. But yeah, he did. Yeah, I took my dad on a fishing trip a couple of years ago, actually, to Lake Sajima. Shout out to anybody who knows that lake. And you know, this is after we hadn't seen each other for a while, because I'd been off to college, had my own life, and so I came back, and you know, I was already, you know, pretty well into bass fishing at this point. Hadn't gotten my kayak. I was still using my inflatable. Went out on a July, I think it was the weekend of Father's Day weekend, and man, we absolutely just, I put him on some bass, and man, we crushed it. It was like every other cast we were getting the bass, and big ones too. They weren't like, you know, we weren't pulling in 1 pounders. There was 3, 4, 5 pounders in there, and we had to, just on one day, we had to have caught over 100 bass, all good size too. And you know, my dad ended up leaving and saying, that was the best day of fishing I've ever had in my entire life. So I was pretty happy I could do that for him. Oh, Lipless. Lipless. If you want to go out and do some power fishing, just good old chuck and wind. Sure, you can bob it, you can jig it, you can, you know, let it sink to the bottom, and then, you know, swing it up. I just like a steady retrieve. I'll vary up the speed every now and then, but I don't know, every time I try to do like let it sink to the bottom, pendulum down to the bottom, and lift back up, I always just get it fouled up. That's a nicer one. Nice. Thanks, bud. It's another decent one. Oh, that's a good one. Ooh. That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh. Nice. Thanks, bud. Yep, there's another one. Oh, that's a better one too. That's a better one too. Get out of them weeds. Thanks, bud. Yeah, I just found this little grass patch. And they're all just kind of in here, so I keep fishing it. God, when the wind blows and it vibrates the strings, I always think I have tinnitus. It's just like, what? It's ringing in my ear. Oh, it's my line. I'm gonna try them all out today. Try to catch fish on all of them. Oh, I saw him go for it. That's a big one. No! That was a big bass too, Jesus. Damn. Big one of the day right there. It's about 3 feet low, yeah. And then you had the fall turnover, so it's kind of messing with the fish a little bit on where they're gonna be. Yeah. Thanks, bud. Thanks, bud. Thank you. There's one. On the hair jig. Thanks, bud. There's one. It's a better one. It's on this lipless, man. I might just not put it down. That's a good one. It's pulling too. Ripping it. I did not rip my net. Of course I did. The only time I needed it. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Please don't come off. Please don't come off. Please don't come off. Oh, he's not doing very well either. He's not hooking very well. That's nice. Thanks, bud. Another 3-pounder. Nice. Nice. Thanks, bud. There's one. Smaller one. Maybe not. Kind of smaller. Feels like it. Yeah, it's kind of small. Maybe a pounder. You hit it hard though. Maybe a 3-pounder. Thanks, bud. Came back for it. Little guy. Came back for it. Right after I popped it out of that, with the weeds too. Maybe not a little guy. No, stay down. Thanks, bud. Yeah, it was right when I popped it out of the weeds. Got hung up, popped it out. And, he was either following it or I passed him when I hit that weed and popped it out. But yeah, a little bit of grass. They're hanging around it. I need to push enough bait fish into the grass in the feeding. There's also a little bit of a drop off, and I am right on top of a lot of fish, and there's another one. Yeah, they're all just stacked up on this flat, man. Oh, that's a good one. They're just all up in this flat. Thanks, bud. Well, I think that's gonna do it for me. But yeah, it was a damn good day. You know, those handing baits. I just want to show you what I was throwing here. So, caught a fish on their 5/8 ounce swim bait. This is a multi-jointed swim bait, kind of a larger one. It's a little sinker. Kind of think of it as a normal bait. I love the design on this. The design on this is so cool. On all of them. But, I caught one on this little mini guy. This is like a 3/8 ounce multi-jointed swim bait. You can see like inside. So it's not metal holding it. It's fabric. It actually gets it. It's not metal, man. It's not metal holding it. It's fabric. You can kind of see like it gives it a unique swim motion. It looks exactly like one of those little baby, one of those little minnows that you see that are skittering across the top of the water. One of the big ones too has been Lipless. I love this Lipless, man. I love the color. I love the action. I love the hooks. Mustad hooks. Fantastic hooks. But you know it's a good day when you're Lipless like that. You can see the bite marks. So like it looks like they're going like right after the middle of it, which is kind of cool. Appreciate y'all watching, and as like always, tight lines, y'all.